Hi, everyone. This is Philip Miner, Director of Grants and Communications at Aperture Community Health Center. And I want to either thank you for joining us today on Facebook Live, or if you're seeing this on our website later. This is just a very brief introduction, and I'm going to let Tim take it away.
All right, what is up, friends? Happy Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Thank you so much for being here. I am really excited to lead you through a warm-up, a workout, which will also include a warm-up. But just a little bit about me. My name is Tim Landicho. I am a personal trainer, nutrition coach, and group fitness instructor. I am now in my 5th year of doing this. And so I'm excited to hopefully give you a little bit of a glimpse of what I do, and hopefully you have a great time today. So very quickly, Phil and I were actually just joking about this before we went live. I believe due to copyright reasons and this living on the Aperture page, on the Facebook page, I don't believe that we will be able to actually like run music live on my end in this class. So if you need a moment, take about maybe 30 to 60 seconds if you want to pull up a playlist of your choice, open up Spotify, just something that'll kind of get you pumped up, and feel free to do that. Feel free to do that so that I will be leading you through this in silence on my end, but just so you don't feel like you're doing this entire thing in silence. So feel free to do that. As you are doing that, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of this class. So I think most of us are pretty familiar with HIIT, right? So high intensity interval training. So this is going to be a body weight HIIT class. The way that this is going to be run is we're going to start with a little bit of a warm up. And so everything that we do, I'll be doing alongside of you. So we'll start with a warm up. And then as we get into the actual workout, the structure is going to be, we'll do a circuit of a couple of moves that are all body weight. I'll take you through that. And then we'll have little rest periods in between. So we'll do a circuit, we'll rest, we'll repeat that circuit again, we'll rest, we'll repeat that circuit again. And so in those little rest periods, I'm either gonna give you a sneak peek of what's gonna come in the following circuit, or any of the moves that we just did in that circuit, I'll also be giving you alternatives. That way, if, I know we probably have folks joining from different ability levels. So if you are someone that is a little bit more on the beginner side, no worries at all. I'm so stoked you're here. And I'll give you options for how to scale some of the movements down if you need to, so that they feel more appropriate to you. And then on the flip side, if maybe you've been doing this fitness thing for a while, I'll also be giving you alternatives to crank that up a notch, just so that as we go through this hour, it's really a choose your own adventure. You can scale a certain move up, go into the next move, do it as is, as I'm doing it, and then go to the next one, maybe scale that back. And I'll kind of be showing you all those variations as we go, yeah? Okay, friends, so if you have your music, we are going to get started, and we're gonna start with a little warm up here. This is gonna take maybe 4 minutes. And so if you wanna press hit on that playlist now, again, I will be doing this in silence, but I want you to feel pumped up. So here's what we're gonna start with. We're gonna start with this move called quadruped breathing. Quadruped is just a fancy name for being on all fours. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit back on my heels, really press the floor away. So I'm kind of rounded through my upper back. I'm just take some deep breaths here. In through your nose. Then long exhale out through your mouth. We're here for about 5 more seconds. Good. And 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and come up to this all fours position. We're now gonna rock. So now I'm gonna reach my booty back. And so really what we're doing here is we're just taking the position that you might be in a squat or anything like that, where your hip is in this deep bend or this deep flexion. We're just doing it on the floor so we can activate some of that core and just get you warmed up for that. Good, my friends, you got 5 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. All right, so let's stay in this all fours position. I'm gonna put one hand behind my head. I'm gonna bring one elbow to my other elbow, and I'm gonna reach that elbow up to the ceiling, really open up. And we're just gonna rinse and repeat here. Good, and if you're at all wondering about the timing of breathing, you're gonna think about inhaling at the top, fill that open chest with air, exhale as you close back in, Let's go to the other side. Here we go. Other side. Again, elbow to elbow. And all we're doing here is we're working on getting through as full of a range of motion as we can with that upper back rotation. By the way, for anyone still working at home, I know the world's opening up, but if you're at a desk all day, this is a really great one to kind of open up everything. You know, you're stuck in a position all day. Good. From here, we're gonna come back to this all fours position. I'm gonna lift up my knees, and you can either stay here, so you should start to feel some abs, maybe some shoulders. If you wanna kick this up a notch, we're gonna take this into what's called bear crawl. So I'm gonna take my opposite arm and opposite leg. I'm gonna walk forward. I'm gonna take my other arm, other leg, walk forward, and go backwards. If you have a little space like me, those of us in New York City, this is great because you can do this entire thing in a very limited space, as you can see here. Good. And 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm gonna come down to glute bridges. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna lay on my back. I'm gonna press my entire foot through the floor, squeeze my glute tips up to the ceiling. Good. And friends, I can't see you on my end, but I know you're crushing it. Just making sure that you're exhaling as those hips come up. That's it, y'all. We got 5 seconds here. And 3, 2, 1. So we should be feeling some glutes engaged there. Now we're gonna go to a reverse lunge up to standing. I'm gonna step back here, elbow to knee, and I'm gonna come up to a sprinter balance. So I look like a sprinter here. Good. You're gonna hear some beeps. We're just gonna keep working through this. Step back, elbow to knee, up to a sprinter balance. Step back, up to a sprinter balance. Good. All right, we got 5 seconds here. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and step that back, elbow to knee, back to a sprinter balance. If you wanna take this up a notch, you can add a little bit of power and really drive up with some speed there. Yes. Good, friends. And 3, 2, or actually, it's a little ghost beep. We're gonna work through this a little bit more. Good, we got about 12 seconds here. Add that power if you want. Good. All right, friends, now we're gonna get into a little bit of jumping. We got some pogo jumps here. 3, 2, 1. If anyone remembers being on a pogo stick as a kid, we're essentially doing that just without the stick. So I'm on the balls of my feet. Heels are not touching the floor. I'm staying light. We got 5 seconds here. We're gonna go into what's called fast feet. 3, 2, 1. It's literally what the name says. You're just gonna move your feet really fast in place. You can travel forward, you can travel backwards. Good, and we got this for 10 seconds. So at this point, your heart rate should be cranking up a notch. And we're going high knees in 3, 2, 1. So that same sprinter balance we did, now we're just gonna do that fast. Good, we got 10 seconds. Here we go. Nicely done, team. 5 seconds, and 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Okay, shake it out. Shake it out. I don't know about you all, but I'm a little sweaty now. Okay, so here's what we got on deck. If you need to take a sip of water, feel free to take a sip of water. If you need to turn that music down a bit so you can hear this little breakdown of moves, you can do that as well. But here's what we got for this first little circuit. I'm gonna show you kind of the basic move that we'll start with. I'll call this kind of like the standard, and then I'll show you kind of the next progression up if you wanna crank that up a notch, or a little bit of a modified version if you wanna scale it back a bit. So the first move there is going to be what's called a split squat. And I'm gonna show you everything at kind of a 45-degree angle here, but split squat is my front foot completely planted, back foot planted. These are staying in place. I'm just gonna move up and down, yeah? So up and down, my back knee is not touching the floor, hovers right above. I'm driving through my front heel as I come up. We'll do a set there. We'll do a set on the other side. If you wanna take these up a notch, either one of these, you can add a little bit of a jump there. Cool. A little bit of a jump right back into it. The next one is, you're gonna hear a little ghost beep here. No worries, we'll work through it. After this, we're gonna go into a glute bridge, kind of like what we did in the warm up. So you'll be here on your back, pressing through your feet, exhale, good. Other option, if you're like, Tim, I wanna crank this up a notch. You can hold your hips up. You're gonna stay on one leg, knee goes to chest, other knee goes to your chest. You can also reach up to the ceiling to keep some of those abs engaged, cool. Those are your two options there. And then we're gonna end this with a plank. So just a standard plank. You can either do this on your elbows or you can do this on your hands. Hands is gonna be a little bit easier. Elbows are gonna be a little bit tougher. Yeah, if you want to crank that up a notch even further, you can come up to your hands and we will do what's called a plank with shoulder tap, yeah? So my goal here is to keep this nice and steady as I go onto one hand, cool? Woo, all right, y'all. Let's get started. If you turned your music down, feel free to crank it back up because we're gonna dive into this. We're gonna do this for a total of 3 rounds. Yeah, we're going through this for a total of 3 rounds. Again, we're starting with those split squats. So let's get into position, friends. Here we go. We're gonna go split squats in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Again, feet planted. And I'm really working on driving down into the floor through my entire front foot. Exhaling as I come up. There it is. Again, I can't see you, but I know you're crushing it. I know you're crushing it. We got 10 seconds. Again, your other option, if you want to crank this up a notch, though I would totally understand if you want to pace because we got 3 rounds, you can add that little bit of a jump. Good. 3, 2, 1, let's go other side. Here we go. Driving through that heel. One thing that I would encourage you to just be mindful of is in this move, it can be really easy to kind of shift too far forward and let your heels come off the ground, or kind of at the top, locking at both knees. And we want to make sure that we still have tension on this leg the whole time. So I'm ending with a little bit of a soft bend there. Good, we got 5. And 3, 2, 1. Nice job, friends. Let's go down to that glute bridge. Here we go. So we're coming down, feet pressed into the floor. And I am squeezing my glutes as I bridge up. You can hold on to either just this move, or if you want to crank this up a notch, hold that in place. One knee to chest. So this is what we call a glute bridge march. You're marching just from a glute bridge position. That's it, friends. We got 5 seconds. Good work. And 3, 2, 1. Nicely done. Let's turn it over to a plank. Again, you have the option of being on your hands. It's going to be a little bit easier. You have the option of being on your elbows, or you can give that tap. One other modification that I will offer here is if that still feels too challenging just being on your hands, you can always come down to your knees and just hold there. And just squeeze your glutes, make sure those abs are tight. And we got 5 seconds. Hold and breathe. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, nice job. All right. Shake it out, shake it out. We got about 45 seconds to rest there. And we're gonna do that 2 more times through, yeah. To go 2 more times through. I'll offer you this option if the split squats feel really challenging. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know how to come down to the bottom, hold that balance, and then come back up. You could either just plug in a regular squat, or this might feel harder in the moment, but I'll actually give you a little more stability. You can also just hold at the bottom. So we'll feel tougher, but you'll have less of that demand of having to come back up. Let's go round 2 here into split squats or those plyometric split squats. Here we go. So again, driving through that front heel. And if you have something at home like weights, either like some light dumbbells, or you have a kettlebell, you can either hold those at your side. If you have a single kettlebell, you can hold that to your chest. Totally up to you. That's it, team. Exhaling on that push. Let's go ahead and switch sides in 3, 2, 1, other side. Again, I'll use this set as you're going through it to kind of just walk you through the modifications. So option 1, is a little bit of a burn. You can hold this here, Option two, if you're really like, man, I'm struggling with balance, you can just come down to a regular body weight squat. I like to reach those hands in front just to give you a bit of a counterbalance forward as you sit your butt down and back. Good. Remember to breathe. And 3, 2, 1. All right, friends, let's come on down to those glute bridges. Trying to come down to a glute bridge here. Bridge those hips up. And really the main thing you want to feel here, just like the name says, is your glutes. So as you get to the top, just checking in. Do I feel my glutes engaging? Yes or no? Again, if you want to crank that up a notch, you can just hold this. What this will do is that will really increase the demand that you have on just one side glute there. 3, 2, 1. All right, my friends, come on up. Let's take a transition to that plank. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Again, your options here. You can go into a regular plank on your hands. Modification here, you can just bring those knees down. If you're choosing to bring those knees down, glutes engaged, abs engaged. You can also do this on your forearm or with a little bit of tap here. That's it, y'all. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Ooh, shake it out. I don't know about you all, but I'm already starting to work up a sweat. So if you need to take a sip of water, please feel free to do that. Take a sip of water, catch that breath. I'll give you like kind of one little recovery thing. Let's say as the world opens up, you're just going and taking like a group class somewhere else, another HIIT class somewhere else. As you're breathing, the part that's really going to help you recover is focusing on your exhale. So I know we're going to want to hyperventilate in, but if you can really focus on slowing down that exhale, that'll bring your heart rate down much faster. Let's go last round here. Let's go split squats. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Again, this is our regular move here. Good. Again, crank this up and go plyos. Plyo is short for plyometric, which just means a little bit of explosiveness in there. Again, your other option is you can either hold this at the bottom. Ooh, this is a lot of tension. Good, 10 seconds. As we go to the other side, your other option here in 3, 2, 1. Your other option is to just go into a regular body weight squat. That's it, y'all. If you were doing a body weight squat in that first side, so like, let's say you split squat one side, you're just doing a squat there, feel free to just continue it on this other side. As we switch to the other side of the split squat, you can just keep doing that. We got 10 seconds. Exhale, push. That's it, friends. Good. 3, 2, 1. Let's come on down to our glute bridge. Here we go, glute bridge. From here, bring those hips up. Glute squeeze. I like to add a little bit of a reach here. And the visual I like to go for is almost like I am planking on the floor. So I'm really pushing the floor away, that imaginary floor away. And that's just helping drive my core back and keep that tight. Again, you can do a march here. That's it, y'all. And 3, 2, 1. All right, come on up. Let's go into, I'll show you the elbow version of this plank. We're gonna be down on our elbows. That is it. And really the main thing I would encourage you to think about here is just breathing, yeah? Anytime in a core exercise, it is really easy. Just hold your breath as you tighten everything up. But can you, this is a real challenge, can you breathe through that? Can you really find that good exhale? And rest. Nice job, my friends. Give yourselves a round of applause. Or if you're like, you know what? I have roommates. They're going to think I'm weird if I'm clapping to myself. That's okay too. You don't have to give yourself a round of applause. But we are done with that. Here's what we got on deck. We got about 30 seconds to rest here. And we're going to go into what is called a supine cross crawl. I'll show you that as we get into it. It's basically like if anyone's done a bicycle crunch before, where you're on your back, elbow to knee, except they're really gonna slow it down. And then we got 15 seconds left to rest. We're gonna go push up after that, or a modified push up, or a plank. After that, we're gonna go into what's called a pulse squat. And then we're gonna go into bear crawls, which we did in the warm up. Let's go here, friends. Let's go supine cross crawl. Come on down. The way that this is going to work is you're going to bring one elbow to the opposite side knee. We're gonna hold here. And your goal is to hold until all your air is expelled from your body. Good, inhale on the way down. Inhale down. If you're really taking time with those breaths, you should get some shaky shakies in your abs here. That's it, y'all. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's flip over. And we're gonna go into push-ups. So I'll show you just kind of the regular standard push-up, right? Your hands are spreading the floor. Your fingers are spread wide, spreading the floor. From there, pushing that floor away. Your other option here is you can either just hold a plank, or you can come down to your knees, make sure those glutes are engaged. If you want to start to make this more challenging, really pressing it with some power. There we go. 5 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Nice job, y'all. Come on up. Here we got what's called a pulse squat. So we're going to go into that bodyweight squat position. Reaching those hands out. Again, I like to visualize a nice plank, driving the floor away so my core is engaged. From there, oops, that's not the pulse. The pulses are gonna come halfway up, back down, halfway up, back down. And I know as that burn accumulates, it's gonna get harder to keep control of your breath. I'm really gonna encourage you to stay breathing because that's gonna help you a lot. Let's go. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come on down to bear crawls. We did this in the warm up. So I'll give you the 2 options, right? We're back on all fours. You can either lift those knees up and just hold. If you're doing this right, you should feel some shoulders. And on the action, you should feel some abs. Or if you want to add those steps, we can go into some bear crawls. So I'm going to do some reverse bear crawls here and forward bear crawls. Yet if you got a tiny space like I do, feel free to just go forward and back. Good. 3, 2, 1. Woo! How are we doing? Wait, actually, I can't hear how you're doing because this is on Facebook Live. But if another thing I'll say is if you're catching your breath, you're going through this and you're like, oh my gosh, Tim, there's a lot. It feels really challenging. You are more than welcome to take a pause, collect your breath. The sets will still keep going. When you feel ready, dive right back into it. Yeah. We're gonna go one more. Just one more of this round. We're gonna go into that cross crawl again, where I am going elbow to knee. Again, our focus there is, can you make that exhale as long as possible? Really engage those deep abs. Here we go, last round of this. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Exhale, hold, hold, hold. Once you feel that deep ab burn, good, come on down. Hold, hold. You're gonna come back down once all your air is out. Inhale. Exhale and hold. You are doing great, my friends. You got about 10 seconds on the clock here. So if you'll notice, over the course of like 40 seconds, I really only got 2 reps on each side. And that's how slow we want to go here. Good, let's go back to push-ups. I'm gonna show you the modified version of this. If I'm down on my knees, again, I don't want to keep my butt up here and just have my upper body coming down. I want to make sure my glutes are engaged, my plank is engaged. I'm taking all of that down in one piece. If, on the other hand, you want to crank the push-up up a notch, you can go back to that full plank and you can do the same pulse that we did in that body weight squat. So I'm only coming up halfway here, halfway back down to the bottom. And we got 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, let's go into that pulse squat. If you're pulsing with me in that push-up, We're gonna do that same pattern. Down, halfway, good. And these pulses are a really good opportunity. Again, I like to think of this as how far into this intensity can I go while still being able to control my breath, right? So if you can do that, you'll be in a really good place. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's come on down. We got either bear crawls or bear breathing. Again, all fours here. Bear breathing is just knees hovering above the floor. And if bear breathing is your exercise of choice where you're not moving around, again, same principle of long exhales here, just like we did in that cross crawl. For all of my bear crawl folks, yes, I know you're crushing it. Good, 3, 2, 1. All right. Ooh, shake it out. Shake it out, y'all. You shake that out either physically, literally, or just metaphorically in your soul. We are done with that set. And we are actually coming up to the halfway mark. So here's what we got on deck. We're gonna do what is called an alternating reverse lunge. So it's like the split squat, except at the top of each rep, I'm coming up to standing. Now, I'm switching sides, getting a little bit more dynamic with it. From there, we're gonna go side plank. I'll show you that as well as a variation. And then after that, we're gonna go into fast feet, which we did in the warm up. Here we go. Let's go into reverse lunges, alternating in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So you're here. Step back, drive up. Drive up, yes. Again, very similar cue to that split squat. As you're driving up, can you push through that front heel? Making sure your heel is in contact with the floor the entire time. Good. And we're going 3, 2, 1. There we go, friends. All right, we're coming down to a side plank here. So I'm gonna come up. You can either stack your feet or go top leg in front. Drive my elbow down. Hips are gonna be up. And I'm just holding here. You can do whatever you want with this hand. Sometimes I like to reach. Sometimes I like to keep it up. Let's go to the other side. Again, you can go top leg down. Hips are up, good. And just breathe here. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. 3, 2, 1. All right, friends, let's come on up. We're gonna go fast feet here. So this is where we get a little bit of that heart rate up. Just like we did in the warm up. If you have a little bit more space, you're welcome to travel here. Like to do a little bit of forward and back. If you need a little bit of a down option, you're welcome to stand in place and do this elbow to knee situation. So if you visualize, it's almost like that crunch that we did on the floor, just standing up. So this is your down option. Fast feet is your up option. Good. 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Okay. Breathe. You got 45 seconds to breathe. Just like I mentioned in that very first rest period, I think the first 2 rest periods. Take the next 30 seconds now or so as I'm giving you a little breakdown of the set to come. Long exhale in through the nose. Really gentle exhale out. If you can really control that, your heart rate is going to start to come down a little bit faster. My friends, we're gonna do this 2 more times through. Actually, we only got this 1 more time through. What am I thinking? It's Saturday, we're almost done with this. 3, 2, 1, let's go, alternating reverse lunge. I'm also gonna show you a modification here. If you're someone who really wants to kick this up a notch, you can go into a squat, into a reverse lunge, into a squat, into a reverse lunge. And so instead of that standing position being kind of your home base, if you will, your home base here is always gonna be in the bottom of the squat, holding some tension there the entire time. You got this, friends. 3, 2, and 1, come on down. We're gonna go to a not split squat, we already did that. We're gonna go to a side plank. I'm gonna show you one modification here. to crank this up a notch. You can reach and rotate under your body. Reach up, rotate under your body. Good work. 3, 2, 1. Let's go to the other side. Here we go. Again, top leg is in front. Again, that option to crank it up. Reaching, my eyes are on my hand. Exhaling. You're nailing this, friends. Okay, let's go fast feet. Come on up. Like the name says, we're just gonna move those feet really fast. Good. Again, if you're someone that's like, oh my gosh, you need to breathe, no worries, you're all good. You're all good. I would encourage you to stay moving, but just do something a little lower intensity. Elbow to knee, elbow to knee. For all my fast feet folks, if you are still going fast feet, we got 10 seconds here. Let's go. We got 5 in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, nice job. Okay, here's what we got on deck, friends. We're actually at the last part. So we're gonna do this a total of 2 times through, and then you're done. So altogether, this workout was will come out to about 30 minutes from start to finish. Here's what we got. So we're gonna go either into what's called a jump hinge. So you're gonna hinge, this is what we call a hinge when you send your hips back and you jump up. If you don't wanna have any of that impact, you can just do some speed squats really fast. We're gonna follow that up with push-ups, and I'll show you the rest as we go. Here we go, my friends. We are going jump hinge or speed squats in 3, 2, 1. Again, that jump hinge, sending those hips back, jumping up. If that impact option is not your jam, then you can go into your regular squat. Speed that up. Exhaling as you push. You got this, team. Again, I know your heart rate is cranking up at this point because mine is too. And if that's you, just remind you to breathe. We got 5 seconds here. And 3, 2, 1. Come on down. You got either push-ups or a plank. Push-ups or a plank. So the plank is a little bit of the down option, right? That modification. If you want to go into push-ups, can you keep those abs tight, glutes tight? Let's go. Here we go. "15 seconds on the clock, team. Again, you're welcome to do these push-ups on your knees as you get fatigued. 5, and 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're repeating. This is a repeat move. Alternating reverse lunge, but this time we are adding some speed to it. Here we go, drive. That's it. Start to layer on some speed. You got it, team. And the modification, if you are someone wanting to kick it up a notch into that squat, again, keeping this fast. In 3, we're going into another repeat that we've done. We're gonna go into this supine cross crawl. Very fancy name, but all it is this. Again, I know your heart's racing, but can you fight for that slow breath? There it is. Then over the course of 40 seconds, really only getting 4 reps here, 2 on each side. That's really the slow down that we're aiming for. That's it, team. We're coming on up. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're into what's called a reverse burpee. So we're gonna squat down. Walk your hands out into a plank. Stick that plank. Come on back to your squat. Stand up. Take this first round just to get comfortable with this. Into your squat. Stand up. As you get comfortable, then we're gonna add that layer of speed. Can you come out? Stick that plank. Good. Come on back up to standing. Stick that plank back to your squat. That's it. Let's go. 5 seconds. Come on. 3, 2, 1, and breathe. Woo. Okay. Oh man. Again, if you're like me, you're starting to speed that up. You might be catching your breath at this point. That's okay. I'm gonna remind you, it's gonna feel very easy. Just go into that hyperventilation state. Yeah, this is a great time to practice. Hey, can my body go into a slightly stressful state and still regain or remain in control? Your breathing is going to be a huge, huge, huge part of that. All right, my friends, it brings me great joy to show you that we're really on our last round. We're on our last round. So as we go into this last set, I'm going to invite you, if you are someone who is of AAPI descent, like I am, I know the past months, past year really, and beyond has been a lot. I don't know about you, but I have been just like full of anxiety, like on behalf of my family. I'm here in New York City, so like I come home late at night on the subway, and I know if you are an AAPI individual, I know there's probably been a lot of anxiety that's been living in your body for a while, right? And one of the best ways that we can utilize that, in addition to reaching out to social networks, in addition to finding your community and using your voice, one of the best ways you can actually utilize your anxiety response, your stress response, is to utilize to use a physical outlet. Yes. So as we go into this last set, I'm really going to challenge you. I'm going to invite you to not only crank this up a notch, but can you do this in honor of folks that came before us? Yeah. So I always love to, like, when I'm going through like the final set of something, if I'm not like, oh my God, I hate this, this is terrible. A lot of times I'm just thinking about, wow, like what a gift that we can do this. Like what a gift that we can be here on a Saturday and just move our bodies. Yeah. And so as we go through this, I'm going to invite you to crank this up a notch. And if we can frame this as like, oh my gosh, like who can I dedicate this to? Or can I just execute this with excellence, knowing that this is a huge opportunity. This is a gift. So let's go into this last set. Let's go into jump hinges or speed squats. Here we go. We're going into speed squats to jump hinges in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hips back, jump up. Got 30 seconds on the clock, team. If you're doing jumps and you need to modify, no worries. You can always come down to those speed squats. Let's go. Really crank this up a notch. We got 20 seconds. Exhale on that push. 10. Come on, y'all. 5 seconds. Good. And 3, 2, 1. Down into those push-ups. Here we go. We got 35 seconds on the clock. Find that plank. Abs tight, glutes tight. Let's go. Exhaling on that push. Come on. We got 15 seconds, friends. If you need to modify, you can come down to those knees or hold the plank. But let's finish this 10 seconds strong. Let's go. Last 5. 3, 2, 1. All right. Come on up fast. Alternating reverse lunges. Come up fast. Drive through those feet. Again, other options here. Down to that squat. This is going to be the base the entire time. 5 seconds. We are done with this move. I'm so thankful that we're done with this. Let's go do this. Cross crawl again. I know our breaths are fast. Can you fight for that exhale? Inhale down. Exhale up. Here you go, friends. Here on to our last 12 seconds. You are nailing this. Can't even see you, but I know you're nailing it. Good. 3, 2, 1. All right, friends, let's finish strong. This is our reverse burpee into that squat. Let's make these transitions quick. Squat, stand, squat, plank. Squat, stand, squat, plank, squat, stand. There we go. Come on, 20 seconds. Can you take it to that finish line? You got this. Yes, friends. We got less than 7 seconds. Good. All the way through. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Whew. All right. Nicely done. Take a second, walk around if you need to. Walk around. Feel free, if you are bumping some Spotify, you're welcome. You're more than, I mean, you can play whatever you want, but you're more than welcome to shift that into a little bit of a slower playlist, a little bit of a calming playlist. Just gonna give you a little bit of a cool down here. So 10 more seconds of just shaking it out, walking around. Let's go to what's called modified rock breathing. And this is going to be just like we start our warm up, hands on the floor. And to help facilitate some recovery, I'm gonna actually push my chest away, intentionally round through my back. That way, as I breathe in, all of my back can expand with air. Calm exhale out, there you go. Again, you're more than welcome to choose a calmer playlist at this time. Open up that back. 5 seconds here. 3, 2, 1. All right, this next one is called a half kneeling stretch. So if you come down, this might be helpful if you have a pillow or towels, like maybe like a folded up towel, rest that back knee on it. Just gonna stay here, which is the bottom of the split squat. My goal is to engage my glutes, squeeze this, exhale, engage my abs. Just gonna give a slight shift forward. I'm gonna feel a stretch through my hip flexor and the front of that leg, front of that back leg. Here you go, friends. If you want a little bit more of a mobility component here, you can also bring that back heel up without losing this tension in your glutes and your abs, adding a little bit of that butt kick. Good. Let's go to the other side. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Just take this moment to make sure that your breathing is coming down. Again, we are thinking here, glutes engaged, abs engaged, slight shift forward. Again, where you want to feel this is here, maybe down through here. If you're feeling like making it spicy, with the caveat that you don't cramp up. If you cramp up, feel free to not do this. But if you are wanting an extra layer there, and keep this glute tension and kick that back heel up, you should feel your hamstrings engaging, which will shut off this quad area a little bit more. 10 seconds. You can also rock in and out of it gently. Good, and 3, 2, 1. Okay, friends, this is gonna be our last stretch here. So be about 1.5 minutes. So here we're gonna go into what's called a tall kneeling. So I'm kneeling, but I'm staying tall. Lat and tricep stretch. So I'm gonna go elbow to the ceiling, pull that elbow across. I'm gonna do a gentle side bend. In slow controlled breaths. So you go in through the nose. You wanna feel this widened up side almost expanding with air. Actually, not almost. You want it to feel expanding, like it's expanding with air. Good, other side. Check that out. Palm of your hand on your upper back, hand on your elbow. Let's do a side bend here. Again, hopefully at this point, your breathing has come back down into your nose. Long exhale on that next inhale in. We were feeling some expansion from under the armpit all the way down our sides. We got 15 seconds here, team. It's so great. You can also oscillate a little bit, see if any other areas are tight. 3, 2, 1. All right, friends. That is it for today. Give yourselves a round of applause. Nice work. Again, if you're at home and you're like, I'm not giving myself a round of applause, my roommate's gonna think I'm weird. Nicely done. Mr. Phil, turn it back over to you.
Why, thank you. I want to, again, thank you, Tim. That was great. I was here doing it with you, and that was a good workout. So thank you again. And
of course, thank you.
In the New York area and need a healthcare provider, especially if you are an Asian Pacific Islander and looking for someone who understands your culture and your life, consider coming to Aperture. And we have several other fitness classes, some Filipino dance, as well as some self-defense courses going on right now. So be sure to check all of those out and have a great rest of your day.